Hey, Sean, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. What do studios need to learn to do better job at marketing movies to audiences to improve box office numbers? Well, I mean, it's kind of different for every movie. That's always the tricky thing, is because you're trying to find how do you sell a movie to an audience, and how do you sell it to the right audience. So, like, there's a movie coming out called American Fiction that comes out in a few weeks. I watched it last night through a screener link. And the trailers for it market half of the movie. The movie's two plots. They go together, and it doesn't really mismarket the film, but it only markets this one side that's very comedy heavy, and it leaves out the part that's very drama heavy. And the two parts really kind of complement each other. But so they're marketing it to not the full audience, or not fully accurately marketing what the film is. And so you get the wrong people to show up. A24 historically has done that a ton with their horror films, marketing to the horror audience. They get them to show up and then like, this thing sucks. This isn't what I was expecting. It gets great reviews, gets a terrible cinema score because they marketed it to sell tickets rather than to accurately represent the movie that it was. So good marketing starts with a good product. So you don't make something and then afterwards try and figure out how to sell it. That's doing it. You're behind the curve if you do that. Like, you do market research, you figure out what people actually want, where there's a gap in the market, where there's an opportunity, and you create something that is interesting, fresh, and new. And that's where Hollywood is struggling right now, because they just keep going to the safe bet. So they're doing market research and they're going, okay, sequels, comic book movies, that they keep going to the same wells that have been working, rather than trying to actively really dig in and look and see what the next thing is. All right, what people love about comic book movies? What do they love about these movies that are doing well? How do we provide that in an actual new way, and not just doing the 5th Thor movie, not doing the 25th Disney live action remake? How do we find the new thing, the fresh news story that delivers that experience? And you want it to be something that's fresh enough that people go, oh, wow, but familiar enough that they're not confused. You need something that's very easy for someone to understand how it's the next thing, how it's one step further than from what we got before. So when you create that product, when you make that movie that's different enough, but familiar enough, then it's easy to market it. Barbie has built-in IP. People know what Barbie is, but also Barbie was something that I didn't get it. And that's very well documented. I didn't get Barbie, the marketing or the movie itself, but everyone else did. So everyone else was excited for it. And Barbie is familiar, but you watched the trailer and you can't really say Barbie is like, and then point to this thing that it's clearly obviously like. It's not clear what that is. You look at it and you go, this feels very different from anything else, but it's still familiar because it's Barbie and there's a bunch of movie stars and it's funny, but you can also get the idea that there's something else going on there. And then you watch the movie and it's superficially very funny, but there's also a lot more going on. So you market it when you have a movie that is that. It's familiar, but it is fresh, new, and different. It's easy to market that. It's easy to sell that. And that's what happened with Barbie. So it all starts with making something that people actually want, but it's not just rehashing what you already gave them. And then marketing it in a way that you connect with that thing that familiar and go from there. And ideally, when you get into it, it's tough to say, like, here's the formula for promotion, but you can look at the ones that were great. So one of the things that was great about Deadpool is that Deadpool is not about the plot of Deadpool. Deadpool is so much about the character and the energy entirely. The vibe of Deadpool himself and making a movie like that. So you can do all of these. You just take the character, and the character is so intertwined with Ryan Reynolds, and you just drop him into a scenario and you can make something there. And it sells what the movie is. That you have this guy that is this irreverent, crass humor, and then he pulls out a gun and shoots a bear or something like that. And so you know it's action, you know there's going to be shooting of guns and stuff, but it's also irreverent and very silly and immature. And you can do posters that don't need to be shots from the movie, but it's this irreverent character doing silly things but holding a gun. And you know what the movie's going to be. So finding the way to do that, capture your movie without giving away the plot, capturing your movie without, but it all goes back to having a thing that's fresh and different, that stands out, but it's not so wacky and weird that no one can connect with it. But I don't know. There's my thoughts on marketing. If you wanted to, Sean Chandler School of Marketing, start with a great product that people want. Do your research before you create the product, and you discover their need, and then when you're marketing it, you just sell the movie as meeting the need. There you go. Marketing 101. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month for $2 per month, $20 per year. You can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams for $5 per month. You get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.